From the muddy battlefields of France to the deserts of North Africa, British vehicles played a crucial role in World War II. In this video, we'll take a closer look at every British vehicle used during the war, from tanks and self-propelled guns to armored cars, carriers, trucks, and even motorcycles. Let's begin with tanks. Light Tank Mk II. Designed in the 1930s, this light tank was once essential to British armored units. Fast and nimble, it often served in reconnaissance roles. But when war erupted in Europe, it quickly faced a brutal reality. German panzer divisions rendered its light armor and firepower obsolete. Still, its high speed gave crews a fighting chance in chaotic retreats, particularly in the Battle of France in 1940. Light Tank Mk7 Tetrarch 7. Unconventional and innovative, this small tank stood apart. It featured a unique steering system and one standout feature. It was air-portable. Deployed during the D-Day landings with British airborne troops, the Tetrarch was compact enough to be dropped by gliders, giving it a unique place in mechanized warfare. Infantry Tank Mk1 Matilda I. Built with thick armor but armed with only a single machine gun, this tank reflected outdated interwar doctrines. Its slow speed and limited firepower hampered battlefield performance, but during its early use, it offered soldiers a level of protection not frequently seen at the time, though at the cost of offensive capabilities. Infantry Tank Mk2 Matilda II. A serious upgrade over its predecessor, the Matilda II earned legendary status in the early desert campaigns. Its heavy armor was nearly invulnerable to early Italian and German weapons. Dominating the sands of North Africa, it delivered one of the first Allied morale boosts against superior Axis equipment. Valentine All Marks. Widely respected for reliability, the Valentine became one of Britain's most produced tanks. Initially criticized for having a small turret, it excelled as a dependable infantry support tank. Its robust design allowed developers to use it as a base for other war machines, including self-propelled artillery, demonstrating its adaptability on the battlefield. Churchill All Marks. Heavily armored and adored by its crews, the Churchill tank was a slow but nearly unstoppable giant. It excelled at crossing rugged terrain, especially in Italy and northwestern Europe. The Mark VII variant stood out for its almost impenetrable armor. As German tanks grew more fearsome, so did Churchill's reputation for survivability. Cruiser Mk4 A13 Mk II. This early cruiser tank introduced the high-speed Christie suspension to British armored forces. Deployed quickly in France and North Africa, its enhanced mobility made it ideal for fast-paced combat strategies. However, its thinner armor made it vulnerable in prolonged engagements. Cruiser Mk6 Crusader. A staple of the desert campaign, the Crusader was cherished for its speed, often outpacing enemy armor. Mass-produced and essential to early successes, it was plagued by mechanical issues that weakened its long-term impact. But for a time, it represented the cutting edge of British armored warfare. Cromwell. Equipped with the Rolls-Royce Meteor engine, the Cromwell marked a turning point in British tank design. Offering better speed and reliability, it served with distinction from Normandy to Germany. Its low profile, decent armor, and firepower made it a balanced choice for armored divisions late in the war. Comet. Armed with a powerful 77 high-velocity gun, the Comet was one of Britain's most formidable cruiser tanks. Entering service late in the conflict, it had the tools to take on German Panthers and win. Its mix of speed, firepower, and survivability made it a symbol of British design maturity heading into the final months of the war. Sherman Firefly, British 17 PDR conversion. One of the most feared Allied tanks, the Firefly was a game-changer. By fitting a devastating 17-pounder gun into the American Sherman chassis, British forces gained the firepower needed to pierce German heavy armor. Panthers and Tigers no longer ruled the battlefield unchallenged. Quick question for you. If you could take just one of these World War II vehicles for a spin today, which one would it be? And why? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your pick. If you're enjoying this deep dive into history, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more fascinating military content just like this. Next, we shift focus from tanks to indirect firepower, vehicles that delivered destruction from a distance. Bishop 25 PDR SPG on Valentine. A stopgap solution, this artillery piece mounted a 25-pounder on the reliable Valentine chassis. While innovative, its boxy structure and poor gun elevation hampered its effectiveness. It saw service in North Africa but was eventually overshadowed by more capable designs. Deacon 6 PDR SB on truck. Crafted specifically for desert warfare, the Deacon mounted a 6-pounder gun on a wheeled truck platform. Its high profile made it vulnerable, but its mobility gave British forces a fast and flexible anti-tank option until better armored self-propelled guns became available. Archer 17 PDR SB on Valentine. Unusual and clever, the Archer reversed the gun's orientation, firing backwards to allow for rapid withdrawal after firing. Built on the rugged Valentine chassis, its 17-pounder gun gave it serious bite, and its ambush tactics made it highly effective in defensive engagements. Churchill Gun Carrier 3-inch SPG. Developed as a home defense weapon against a possible invasion, this self-propelled gun mounted a 3-inch weapon on a Churchill hull. Ultimately, changing battlefield needs meant very few were ever built, and its combat role remained minimal. Let's move into the world of armored and reconnaissance cars, scouts of the battlefield, ever watchful and swift. Daimler Armoured Car. Regarded as one of the best armored cars of the war, the Daimler combined speed, armor, and a potent 2-pounder gun. Its sloped armor and off-road ability made it a trusted reconnaissance partner across multiple theaters. Humber Armoured Car. The most widely produced British armored car, the Humber filled roles from convoy escort to forward scouting. Durable and combat-ready, its balanced performance earned it a place in nearly every British frontline unit around the world. Humber Light Reconnaissance Car, LRC. Tailored for patrols and light liaison duties, this compact vehicle provided basic protection for its 2-person crew. Agile and versatile, it served just behind the front lines, helping to keep communications smooth and reconnaissance current. AEC Armoured Car. Resembling a small tank, this heavy recon vehicle boasted substantial firepower, with later models even housing 75 mm guns. Based on a Matador truck chassis, it brought real combat power to reconnaissance units, a rare combination of mobility and muscle. Standard Beaverette. Created during Britain's darkest hour, this vehicle was cobbled together from civilian car chassis and armor plating. Meant for home defense, especially during the feared German invasion of 1940, it looked crude, but stood ready nonetheless. Daimler Scout Car Dingo. Compact, robust, and stealthy, the Dingo featured innovative 4-wheel steering. It delivered superb maneuverability, quickly becoming the standard for reconnaissance roles. Its ability to escape tight spots made it invaluable in the fast-moving war environment. Humber Scout Car. Essentially a larger version of the Dingo, this Scout car offered improved space and crew comfort while maintaining reliability. Although not as nimble, its versatility ensured a firm place in frontline intelligence gathering. Morris Light Reconnaissance Car, LRC. Designed early in the war, this lightly armored scout vehicle had a characteristic open top and angular shape. Used heavily in North Africa and Italy, it excelled in patrols and convoy defense thanks to its agile build. Guy Armoured Car. An early mainstay, the guy set the foundation for British armored car development. Though it faded from the front lines, its design and production laid the groundwork for models like the Humber, resulting in improved combat vehicles. Lanchester 6x4 Armored Car. A holdover from the interwar years, this 1920s design saw renewed purpose in the early World War II years, especially in Far Eastern theaters. With limited speed and armor, it served primarily in patrol and escort roles where heavier equipment wasn't practical. Now onto carriers. Universal Carrier. Known widely as the Bren Gun Carrier, this tracked utility vehicle was arguably the most prolific Allied armored vehicle. Whether moving infantry, towing guns, or delivering supplies, it did it all, earning its reputation as truly universal. Wasp Flamethrower Variant. Built on the Universal Carrier frame, this version replaced its cargo area with a flamethrower. Affectionately called the Ronson, it cleared bunkers and trenches with horrifying effectiveness, far more than just a support vehicle. Loyd Carrier. Specially designed to tow 6-pounder anti-tank guns, the Loyd had a different layout than the Universal. Its mechanical dependability and towing strength made it a regular sight wherever guns or crews had to be delivered under fire. Windsor Carrier. A Canadian development, the Windsor stretched the Universal design to increase capacity and improve mobility. Its larger size allowed for heavier loads and better performance in rugged terrain, especially vital during the final push into Europe. Next up, bridge layers, recovery machines, and flame-spewing monsters, vehicles engineered to shape the battlefield itself. Churchill AVRE. Fitted with a 290 petard mortar, this engineer tank could obliterate bunkers in seconds. Known as the dustbin launcher, its blast radius alone made it a psychological weapon, key in breaching fortifications on D-Day and beyond. Churchill Crocodile. Arguably the most terrifying armored vehicle deployed by the British. Armed with a flame projector and dragging a fuel trailer, it struck fear well beyond enemy lines. Its horrifying power played a decisive role in flushing out entrenched resistance. Churchill ARK. A brilliant piece of engineering, this tank had no turret, it was a mobile bridge. By driving into ditches and forming level surfaces, it allowed other vehicles to roll over it and keep moving through obstacles. Simple, effective, ingenious. Churchill Bobbin Carpet Layer. Designed for amphibious assaults, this vehicle laid down reinforced matting to allow following tanks to cross soft or sandy surfaces. It proved essential during beach landings, creating paths across terrain that would otherwise trap heavy vehicles. Churchill Fascine Carrier. Equipped to carry giant bundles of brushwood, its primary mission was to fill ditches and tank traps, allowing quicker passage for trailing armor. It transformed deadly gaps into drivable routes in mere minutes. Let's roll into logistics, trucks, utility vehicles, and the lifelines that kept the front moving. Bedford QL. This 4x4 truck was the backbone of British logistics. It fulfilled a huge range of duties, from supplying fuel to towing artillery. Its durability and versatility helped make it one of the most common war trucks Britain ever produced. Bedford MW. Smaller than the QL, this general-purpose vehicle carried light cargo and troops, mainly in the early stages of the war. Despite its size, it became a staple in operations where reliability mattered more than load capacity. Bedford OY. With a 3-ton payload, the OY handled the bulk of mid-range logistics. Used across every front, it exemplified sound engineering and minimal design flaws, crucial when every mile counted in enemy territory. Austin K2Y Ambulance. Better known as the K2, this iconic ambulance was a wartime lifeline. Its recognizable silhouette became a symbol of hope on countless battlefields, ferrying the wounded to safety under fire and often against the odds. Austin Tilly. Built on civilian car frames, the Tilly was a go-to utility vehicle for non-combat roles like message delivery, escorting officers, and ferrying lightweight gear. Simple, efficient, incredibly common across rear areas and airfields. Ford Watt II. A lightweight 15 cwt truck widely used across all campaigns. Simple maintenance and robust construction gave it an edge in rough conditions, becoming a go-to for unit commanders and logistics teams. Ford Watt VI. With 6-wheel drive and a 3-ton capacity, this truck was a rugged beast meant for harsh terrain. Whether it was forests, bombed-out roads, or snowbound fields, the Watt VI kept moving and kept supplies flowing. Morrissey 8 Quad. Known as the artillery tractor of choice for the famed 25-pounder gun, its unique rounded body and 4x4 capability made it ideal for towing guns into the thick of battle, quickly, and through just about anything. AEC Matador. A heavy artillery tractor built for muscle, commonly tasked with hauling the mighty 5.5-inch howitzer, the Matador delivered power and reliability, anchoring major artillery strikes from behind the front lines. Scammell Pioneer. Massive and commanding, this heavy-duty truck was Britain's answer to tank recovery. When armor got stuck or shattered, the Pioneer hauled it back, an asset no battlefield could function without for long. Austin K5. Designed for general cargo transport, the Austin K5 provided a solution wherever larger trucks were impractical. It served across all major theaters, ensuring humble crates arrived just as reliably as combat tanks. And finally, small but vital, the motorcycles, nimble, fast, and fearless. BSA M20. Built by the thousands, this solid workhorse was the most common British military bike. Not fast but impressively tough, it served dispatch riders and MPs alike through mud, minefields, and narrow village roads. Norton 16H. From 1937 onward, this bike did it all: scouting, messaging, convoy policing. Reliable, rugged, and simple to service in the field, it was often a soldier's most dependable machine over rough terrain. Matchless G3L. Pioneering telescopic suspension meant superior control and ride comfort. Riders who got their hands on these bikes often didn't want to go back. A small innovation, but a big win in the harsh conditions of war. Royal Enfield WWII Flying Flea. Light enough to parachute into battle, this 125cc marvel saw action with airborne troops. Unloaded in crates and reassembled fast, it gave lightweight, effective mobility to forces dropped behind enemy lines. Excelsior Welbike. Folding into a standard parachute container, the Welbike was designed for covert and airborne units. It wasn't powerful, but it was mobile, and for commandos ducking enemy patrols, that was everything.